Let me hit you with the truth right out of the gate. Your life is ending one day at a time. Every second you waste hiding, waiting, doubting, another piece of your potential is being buried. And for some of you in this room, this is the last time you'll hear this message before you slip back into mediocrity for good. Look at your life right now, brutally. Is this the life you dreamed of? Is this the level you swore you'd live at? Or have you been playing it safe, lowering the volume of your hunger, shrinking your dreams just enough so you don't feel the pain of failing? Because that's what most people do. They die with their fire still in them. They trade their potential for comfort. They trade their destiny for distraction. But I'm here to rip the curtain down, to tell you the cost of staying the same is everything. Your freedom, your fulfillment, your family's future. The clock is ticking, and the person you're becoming is being decided right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. So let's start with the first truth you need burned into your nervous system. Identity comes before evidence. Identity comes before evidence. Read that again with your soul, not just your eyes. Your entire life right now is a reflection of the story you've decided to believe about yourself. Not your talent, not your resources, not your circumstances. Your story. You've set the thermostat of your life, and no matter what happens outside, you will always return to the level that matches your identity. You could win the lottery tomorrow, but if your identity is still broke, you'll find a way to sabotage it. You could get handed the dream job, but if your identity is "I'm not enough," you'll downplay yourself, pull back, and end up back where you started. Identity is destiny. It's the internal governor of your entire existence. And right now, some of you are living with an identity that's been built on scraps. You built it out of what your parents told you, what your teachers told you, what the failures of your past whispered to you in the middle of the night. You built it from rejection, from heartbreak, from that voice that said, maybe I'm just not cut out for more. And you've accepted that as truth, but it's not truth. It's programming. And the first step to becoming a millionaire in results is to become one in identity before the evidence ever shows up. Think about it. When you walk into a room with certainty, people feel it. You don't even have to say a word, they feel it. Why? Because your identity leaks through every gesture, every look, every ounce of your energy. Identity is not what you say, it's what you embody. And right now, if your body is saying, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I'm average, I'm invisible, then you will manifest a life that matches it. But if you decide that your identity is I am unstoppable, I am resourceful, I am the kind of person who always finds a way, then the world will bend to meet that certainty. Stop waiting for evidence before you decide who you are. Waiting for evidence is why you're stuck. Evidence comes after identity, never before. The greatest achievers in history did not wait for the scoreboard to validate them. They stepped into the arena with belief first. They played as champions before they had the ring. They carried themselves like kings and queens before the crown was on their head. Why? Because the crown was already in their soul. So here's the intervention. What identity are you done with? Be honest. Are you done being the struggler? Are you done being the someday dreamer? Are you done being the person who plays small so others don't feel uncomfortable? Because until you bury that identity, until you make a violent break from it, you will never rise. The millionaire identity doesn't come as a reward for success. It is the requirement for success. The moment you decide who you really are, your behaviors align, your standards shift, your vision sharpens, and life starts matching it. And obsession creates what interest never will. Don't you dare confuse interest with obsession. Interest is cheap. Interest is convenient. Interest is when you say, yeah, it'd be nice if. It's when you dabble, when you play on the sidelines, when you flirt with possibility but never commit. But obsession is when your dream is the oxygen you breathe. Obsession is when people tell you to calm down and you double your intensity. Obsession is when you stop negotiating with yourself, stop bargaining with your excuses, and you live in a state of I will not be denied. The difference between the average person and the millionaire is obsession, because obsession gives you eyes others don't have. It sharpens your focus. When you are obsessed, you see opportunities where others see obstacles. You stay up late when others go to bed. You knock on doors when others have already quit. Obsession will drag you through hell if it has to, but it will never let you settle for mediocrity. And let me say this with absolute fire. If you are not obsessed with your vision, you will be consumed by your distractions. The world is designed to pull you away. Social media, cheap entertainment, the opinions of small-minded people. They're waiting to devour your attention. Interest isn't strong enough to fight that. Interest will let Netflix win. Interest will let fear win. Interest will keep you safe, average and broke. Only obsession is strong enough to cut through the noise. Now listen, some of you have been conditioned to believe that obsession is a bad thing. You've been told, don't get your hopes up, don't want it too much, don't be so extreme. That's the voice of mediocrity talking. That's the voice of people who settled for average and want you to do the same so they feel safe. But the truth? Every great creator, every world changer, every self-made millionaire, you know what they all had in common? Obsession. They lived it, breathed it, sacrificed for it, fought for it, refused to compromise. And because of that, the world eventually had to bend to their will. So what are you obsessed with? Don't tell me you don't know. Deep down, you already know. You've known since you were a kid. You've known in those quiet moments at night when you dreamed of something more. You've known in those flashes of inspiration when you saw yourself in a bigger life. The problem is, you buried it under fear. You buried it under realism. You buried it under the opinions of people who gave up on their own obsessions. But I'm here to rip the lid off that lie. I'm here to wake you up. If you want to live like a millionaire before you become one, you must rewire your identity and you must ignite obsession. Decide that from this moment on, your identity is not negotiable. You are the kind of person who creates, who builds, who thrives, who doesn't stop until it's done. Decide that you will no longer dabble in interest, you will be consumed with obsession. Because obsession creates mastery. Obsession unlocks resilience. Obsession makes the impossible inevitable. Identity first, obsession second. Put those two together and I don't care how broke you are right now. I don't care how many times you've failed. I don't care how many people doubt you. You will rise. Evidence will come. Circumstances will catch up. But you don't wait for them. You lead. You embody. You live it now. And then the world won't just wonder how you did it. They'll wonder how you became unstoppable. Scarcity is a lie. Resourcefulness is the truth. Most people live their lives shackled to a false belief. I don't have enough. Not enough money, not enough time, not enough education, not enough connections, not enough luck. That lie is poison. It's the excuse that kills dreams before they're even born. And if you keep feeding yourself that lie, you'll keep building a life that mirrors it, small, limited, starved. Scarcity is not a condition. Scarcity is a decision. It's a mental prison you choose to live in. And listen to me. Every breakthrough you've ever wanted is on the other side of resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is not about what's in your pocket. It's about what's in your heart, your mind, your spirit. Resourcefulness asks different questions. Scarcity says, why can't I? Resourcefulness says, how can I? Scarcity says, I don't know anyone. Resourcefulness says, who do I need to meet and how do I get in their world? Scarcity says, I don't have the skills. Resourcefulness says, I will learn faster, adapt harder, and master what others avoid. You think millionaires had money when they started? Most of them were broke. You think they had time? They had the same 24 hours as you. You think they had connection? No. What they had was a willingness to knock on 100 doors until one opened. They didn't wait for resources, they generated them. They didn't complain about lack, they invented solutions. They didn't cry about what they didn't have, they leveraged what they did. Here's the truth. The moment you stop believing in scarcity, you reclaim your power. Because scarcity is a parasite. It eats your creativity. When you believe you don't have enough, your brain shuts down possibility. But when you believe resourcefulness is the answer, suddenly your mind explodes with ideas. Scarcity paralyzes, resourcefulness mobilizes. And listen to me, if you are serious about rising, you must banish scarcity from your vocabulary. Never again say, I can't afford it. Say instead, how can I create it? Never again say, I don't have the time. Say, how can I design my priorities? Never again say, I don't know how. Say, who can I learn from? This is not semantics. It's life or death for your destiny. The words you choose carve the path of your future. And now, let's hit the next principle with the same fire. Discomfort is the doorway to destiny. Write it on your soul, because right now, you are being seduced by comfort, and comfort is killing you slowly. You think safety is your friend, but safety is the assassin of greatness. Look back on your life. Every breakthrough you've ever had came from stepping into discomfort. Every time you grew, every time you leveled up, Every time you became more, it happened because you did the thing you were afraid to do. You leaned into pain instead of running from it. That's the pattern of growth. But here's the problem. Most people spend their whole lives trying to avoid discomfort. They build routines that protect them from risk. They choose jobs that won't challenge them. They numb their fear with food, alcohol, scrolling, Netflix, anything to keep them safe from the edge. And then they wonder why they feel dead inside. They wonder why they're restless. They wonder why life feels empty. It's because their soul knows the truth. Growth lives outside comfort. Discomfort is not your enemy. Discomfort is the gym where destiny is built. It's the weight that tears the muscle so it can grow stronger. It's the fire that burns away weakness so only steel remains. Without discomfort, you will never find out who you really are. Do you want to think like a millionaire before you become one? Learn to chase discomfort, hunt it, seek it. Instead of asking, how can I make this easy? Start asking, what challenge must I embrace to become unshakable? Because millionaires do not look for the easy road. They look for the road that makes them unstoppable. And let me be real with you. Pain is coming. Whether you want it or not, life will deliver it. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of stepping into growth or the pain of wasting years. The pain of pushing through fear or the pain of lying on your deathbed wondering, what? You don't get to escape pain. You only get to choose which kind. And the truth? The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. The burn of growth hurts for a moment. The ache of wasted potential lasts forever. So here's the intervention. Where in your life are you hiding in comfort? Where are you lying to yourself saying, I'm fine, when deep down you know you're not? Where are you avoiding the hard conversation, the big leap, the new standard? That's your doorway. That's the exact place you must step through if you want to transform. Resourcefulness and discomfort. Put those two together, and nothing can stop you. When you stop buying into scarcity, your creativity explodes. When you stop running from discomfort, your growth multiplies. And when creativity and growth collide, you become unstoppable. You build momentum that others can't touch. You become the kind of person who doesn't wait for opportunities. You create them. So decide right now. Decide that scarcity is dead to you. Decide that every time you catch yourself saying, I don't have enough, you will immediately flip it and ask, how can I create it? Decide that every time fear tells you to stay comfortable, you will step directly into the fire. Decide that from this moment forward, you will be resourceful and relentless, not scared and stagnant, because time is running out. And for someone in this room, this is the last chance to shift, the last chance to wake up, the last chance to stop living small and start living big. Do not waste another second hiding in scarcity. Do not waste another day numbing yourself with comfort. Life is short. The clock is ticking. Your destiny is waiting. And the only thing standing between you and the life you were born to live is this. Will you stay in the prison of scarcity and comfort, or will you step into the power of resourcefulness and the fire of discomfort? Choose resourcefulness. Choose growth. Choose the burn, because that's where the millionaire inside you wakes up. That's where your future family thanks you. That's where your legacy begins, and it starts now. Perfection is procrastination in disguise. Perfection is the great deceiver. It whispers in your ear, wait until it's ready. Wait until it's flawless. Wait until everything is lined up just right. It sells itself as wisdom, as high standards, as excellent. But strip it bare and you'll see what it really is. Fear dressed up in fancy clothes. Perfection is procrastination in disguise. It's the lie that keeps dreamers dreaming but never doing. Think about it. How many ideas have you buried under the weight of not ready yet? How many times have you said, I'll start when? You don't need to wait. You don't need another course, another degree, another green light. You need to move. Because perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. And chasing it will steal your future. The truth, clarity doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. You don't figure out the path by standing still, analyzing and waiting. You figure it out by moving, failing, recalibrating, and moving again. The people you admire, the ones who've built empires, the ones who've made millions, they didn't have it all figured out. They weren't flawless. They were messy. They were imperfect. They were scrappy. but they acted. They acted when others hesitated. Perfection kills speed, and speed wins. Momentum is everything. The person who makes 100 imperfect moves will always outrun the one who waits for the perfect move. Because every action creates feedback. Every feedback point builds mastery. Every mastery moment builds power. The road to wealth is paved with failed attempts that most people are too scared to even try. Stop worshiping perfection. Stop hiding behind it. Call it what it is: procrastination, fear, avoidance. The only way to build the life you want is through massive, messy, relentless action. Launch the project, make the call, post the video, ask for the deal, step into the arena, and then adjust, improve, and level up. Progress beats perfection every time. So burn this into your identity. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be powerful. You are here to move. You are here to fail forward, faster and fiercer than anyone else. Stop waiting for perfect. It's never coming. The only thing that's real is now. The only thing that counts is action. Choose messy, choose bold, choose relentless. Because perfection is a prison, and action is the key that sets you free. Millionaires fall forward again and again. Here's the truth that most people can't stomach. Millionaires are not made by avoiding failure. They're made by using it. They fall, but they fall forward. They stumble, they crash, they burn. But every single time they rise with more wisdom, more strength, more fire than before. That's why they win. That's why they rise. Failure is not the enemy. It's the curriculum. It's the classroom where champions are built. And if you keep avoiding failure, you're avoiding growth. You're avoiding the very thing that would make you unstoppable. Every setback is feedback. Every rejection is redirection. Every breakdown is a breakthrough in disguise. But most people don't get this. Most people run from failure like it's poison. They fear embarrassment. They fear judgment. They fear falling flat. So they play it safe. They tiptoe through life, doing only what guarantees comfort. And in the process, they guarantee mediocrity. Not you, not anymore. If you want to think like a millionaire before you become one, you must rewire your relationship with failure. Stop treating it like a scarlet letter and start treating it like fuel. Fall, yes, but fall forward. Fall into growth. Fall into resilience. Fall into the wisdom that the timid will never touch because they never dared to leap. Understand this. The world does not reward the person who never fails. The world rewards the one who fails faster, learns faster, adapts faster, and keeps moving. You cannot be stopped if you refuse to stay down. That is the superpower. That is the difference. So here's your decision point. Will you keep hiding behind the fantasy of safety, pretending that failure will kill you? Or will you embrace it, attack it, and use it as the very weapon that carves your destiny? Because millionaires don't get there by walking a straight, perfect path. They get there by tripping, bleeding, falling over and over, until one day the world looks up and says, how the hell did they do it? I'll tell you how. They never stopped. They refused to stay down. They understood that every fall was simply part of the process. So burn this into your identity. Failure is not final unless you quit. You can fall 99 times and rise 100, and you'll still win. Fall forward. Fall fiercely. Fall faster. Because the one who falls the most and rises becomes unstoppable. Purpose fuels profit, not the other way around. If your only goal is money, you'll burn out. If your only target is the next dollar, the next car, the next house, you might climb, but you'll climb a ladder leaned against the wrong wall. You'll wake up one day with the bank account full, but your soul bankrupt. Because money alone is empty. Money without meaning rots. Profit without purpose is poison. But listen, when you attach your vision to something bigger than yourself, everything changes. When you link your drive for wealth to impact, to contribution, to leaving something better than you found it, suddenly you are unstoppable. Suddenly money becomes fuel, not the finish line. It becomes the tool, not the master. Purpose makes you magnetic. People feel it in your presence, in your words, in your energy. You're no longer selling. They're buying into the fire that lives inside you. Profit flows to those who stand for something bigger than themselves. People pay for certainty, for vision, for alignment. Purpose gives you all three. And let me be blunt. If you're chasing money without purpose, you will sabotage yourself. You'll hesitate when it gets hard. You'll fold when the storm comes. Because money is not enough to sustain you through pain. But purpose Purpose will carry you through hell. Purpose will drag you through sleepless nights and broken deals and slammed doors, and it will keep you standing tall. You think millionaires are just obsessed with cash. No, they're obsessed with impact. They know that wealth without purpose is a cage, but wealth with purpose is freedom for them, for their families, for the people they serve. That's why they win, because their why is bigger than any obstacle. So decide today, what is your purpose? Who do you serve? Why must you win? If you don't know, you'll drift. If you don't know, you'll quit when it gets hard. But if you do know, if you can tie every action, every deal, every late night, every risk to a mission that lights you up, then you'll never stop, because it's no longer about you. It's about the lives you're meant to change. Profit without purpose is shallow. Purpose without profit is powerless. But purpose driving profit, that's when you ignite. That's when you create a legacy. That's when the universe itself seems to bend in your favor. Stop chasing the small game of money alone. Step into the big game of purpose-driven wealth, because that's where true fulfillment lives. Your story is your thermostat. Raise it or stay stuck. Your life right now is not a reflection of your potential. It's a reflection of your story. The story you've been telling yourself about who you are, what you deserve, and what's possible for you. That story is your thermostat. And just like a thermostat, no matter how hot or cold life gets, you will always return to the level that matches your story. You can make a little money, you can get some momentum, you can get lucky, but if your story says, I'm average, I'm not enough, I don't deserve more, you will sabotage it, you'll waste it. You'll find a way to shrink back down, because your story won't allow you to hold more than it believes you deserve. But here's the fire. The opposite is also true. Change your story and you change your life. Raise your internal thermostat, and your external reality has no choice but to catch up, because your story drives your standards. Your story drives your decisions. Your story drives every action you take and every action you avoid. You are not broke because of the economy. You are not stuck because of circumstances. You are stuck because your story is small. And the moment you decide to tell yourself a bigger story, I am powerful, I am resourceful, I am unstoppable, I was born for more, everything shifts. Suddenly you show up differently, you act differently, you attract differently, because the story you believe about yourself is the ceiling of your entire life. And listen to me carefully. If you don't take control of your story, someone else will write it for you. Your parents, your teachers, your boss, your failures. The world will hand you a script of limitation, and you'll live it out without ever realizing it was a lie. Break that pattern, tear up the script, write your own damn story. Raise the thermostat, stop tolerating average, stop identifying with struggle, stop repeating the narrative that has kept you small. You don't need evidence to tell a new story. You need decision. Identity is chosen, and the moment you choose a new story, you raise the bar on everything. Your habits, your standards, your relationships, your income. So here's the choice. Will you keep living inside the old story, the one that keeps you stuck on repeat, reliving the same year over and over? Or will you raise the thermostat of your life so high that mediocrity can't survive in your presence? You are not your past. You are not your failure. You are not the story you've been sold. You are the story you decide today. Raise it, own it, live it. Because your destiny rises or falls with the story you choose to believe. Action beats intellect every single time. You don't need another book. You don't need another course. You don't need another podcast telling you the same thing you've already heard 100 times. What you need is action, because knowledge without action is worthless. Intellect without execution is poverty. Ideas without movement are dead. The world is filled with people who are smart, educated, informed, and broke. Why? Because they confuse knowing with doing. They think because they understand the theory, they'll somehow reap the results. But life doesn't reward what you know. Life rewards what you do. Listen, action creates clarity. Action creates confidence. Action creates momentum. You don't wait until you feel ready, you move, and readiness shows up as a result. Stop worshiping intellect. Stop waiting until you know enough. You will never know enough. You will never have every piece of the puzzle, and you don't need to. All you need is the courage to move now. Millionaires are not the smartest people in the room. They are the ones who act when others hesitate. They're the ones who pull the trigger, make the call, send the email, take the risk, while the thinkers are still stuck in analysis. They're not paralyzed by the question, what if it doesn't work? They're fueled by the belief, I'll make it work. Action beats intellect. 10 imperfect moves will always outrun 10 years of perfect planning. 1,000 failures from action will teach you more than 1,000 theories from books. Action is the great separator. It's the reason some people rise and others stay stuck. So hear me. You don't need more time. You don't need more information. You don't need anyone's permission. You need to act. Act messy. Act boldly. Act relentlessly. Act until the world has no choice but to adjust to your momentum. This is the line in the sand. Stop collecting information like it's a trophy case. Start creating results. Stop asking, what should I do, and start doing the thing you already know you must. Because the difference between dreamers and doers, between broke and wealthy, between ordinary and extraordinary is not intelligence, it's action. Decide right now, I will move, I will act, I will not wait another day, another hour, another minute, because my destiny will not be written by what I know, it will be written by what I do. The millionaire version of you already exists. Decide to unleash them. This is not about becoming someone else. This is about becoming who you already are. The millionaire version of you is not out there in the future. It's inside you right now, waiting for permission to lead. Every ounce of power, every ounce of courage, every ounce of greatness you've been searching for, it's already in you. You just haven't unleashed it yet. Why? Because you've been living inside a cage of doubt, fear, and excuses. You've been listening to the voice that says, not yet, not mean, not possible. That voice is a liar. That voice is the thief of destiny. The only thing standing between you and the life you're capable of living is the decision to stop suppressing who you already are. You don't need to earn the right to be powerful. You don't need to wait for evidence before you step into it. The identity of greatness is already yours. You simply have to claim it. Decide that from this moment on, you will live as the millionaire version of yourself. Not tomorrow, not when the money shows up, not when people believe in you. Now, what would that version of you do? How would they walk? How would they speak? How would they attack their goals? How would they handle fear? Start doing that now, because identity drives behavior. When you embody the millionaire you already are, your habits, your decisions, your standards automatically rise to meet it. Stop saying, one day is a lie, one day is a graveyard where dreams go to die. The millionaire you is here now. The leader, the warrior, the creator, it's all already in you. The only missing piece is your decision to unleash it without hesitation, without apology, without compromise. So here's the moment. Decide. Decide that the broke identity is dead. Decide that the small version of you no longer gets a seat at the table. Decide that from this moment forward, you are the person who builds, who grows, who multiplies, who leads. Because when you decide, truly decide, the world cannot stop you. The millionaire version of you is not a fantasy. They are your truth. And the second you stop suppressing them, the second you stop doubting them, the second you choose to embody them, you shift. Life bends, opportunities appear, people respond differently. Doors open because the world reflects who you are, not what you want. So unleash them. Now. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't overthink. Step into the identity that's been waiting inside you all along. The millionaire you is real. The only question is, will you unleash them, or will you bury them? Listen to me, this entire journey we've taken together is not about motivation. It's not about hype. It's about ripping away the lies you've been living under and forcing you to see who you really are. You've been hiding, you've been waiting, you've been pretending that your excuses are real, that your limits are permanent, that your struggles define you. But deep down, you know the truth. You are not average. You are not ordinary. You are not meant to play small. That restless fire inside you, the one you've tried to quiet, the one you've drowned with comfort, it's screaming at you right now. It's demanding to be unleashed. And here's the fork in the road. Either you walk out of this and crawl back into the same life, the same story, the same comfort zone, or you rise. You decide that this was the moment you stopped lying to yourself, the moment you stopped settling, the moment you chose obsession, resourcefulness, discomfort, action, purpose, and identity. No one is coming to save you. No one is handing you permission. No one is writing your story except you. And if you don't pick up the pen, life will hand it to fear, to scarcity, to mediocrity, and they will gladly write it for you. But if you do, if you seize it now, if you draw the line and step into the fire, you will never go back. You will rise, not because life got easier, but because you became stronger. You will dominate, not because you got lucky, but because you finally lived as the person you were meant to be all along. This is the decision point. This is the line in the sand. Choose now, because the next chapter of your life starts the second you decide it does. Your old life is suffocating you. Either rise into who you were born to be, or stay small and watch your fire die. The choice is now. Decide.